It's time for a new adventure. Today we're flying from Mexico up to the United States, spending just under 24 hours in Boston, Massachusetts, then getting picked up and driven to Maine to spend the next 2 months working at an American summer camp. Welcome to our home for the summer. In this video, we leave our Central America / Mexico trip behind and head up to camp for the summer. Join us as we show you the process of getting to camp, our first day here, and answer a couple of questions of yours as we go. Let's go do this. We've officially made it to Boston, Massachusetts, which is so exciting. Our summer camp this year is in Maine, which is about 2-3 hours from here, and we're getting picked up tomorrow by a member of camp, one of my good friends actually from when I went 2 years ago. But we have just under 24 hours in Boston, so we've got to get going, make the most of this. We have to go get our visas activated though. We're here on J1 visas, and to get that activated, it's already in our passports, but we just need a DS 2019 form to show customs immigration as well. I believe that's everything. I'll let you know when we're on the other side of it, if there's anything else. But yeah, let's go get it ready. We've already made it through immigration. It was the smoothest thing ever. You only need your DS 2019, your passport with your visa in it. It was so easy getting through that process.
If you're thinking about going to work in the US as a camp counselor too, and that just sounded really overwhelming, don't worry, because you need a visa sponsor in order to do this, and they will help you through every step of the way. We have come through AmeriCamp and have had such a wonderful experience. I would really highly recommend them. Your agency / sponsor will help you get a job, help you organize your visa, and give you support through every step of your camp process, so you too can be landing in the States before you know it.
We have officially made it into our hotel room. It's actually really nice. We had to pay $185 US for the night. It was the cheapest, literally though, that we could find in Boston. Now, I've just spent the last couple months down in Central America, and going to summer camp, you're in activewear most of the time, and my absolute favorite sports bra from Lululemon went missing. So I do not have a single sports bra with me for camp. So we've just ordered an Uber. It should be here in like 2 minutes, and we should make it to the Lululemon like 5-10 minutes before it closes. And I know exactly what I want, but I really hope we make it in time. We're also going for Yum Cha for dinner, and then we'll do a little Q&A back here later. It's 7:48. I see the Lululemon. We literally made it, we did it, we got the sports bra, and we were out right on closing time. I still cannot believe we're finally in Boston. Ooh. How do you feel?
I'm destroyed. So.
Excited.
I am excited. It's good.
We're so excited. Camp tomorrow. Thank you. I cannot tell you guys how much I've been craving Yum Cha for like at least 2 months. I wanted it before we went to Central America. Didn't get it, and oh my god, this is just like fulfilling all of my desires right now. So we're all finished at dinner now. We're pretty wiped. We're gonna go back to the room now. We gotta get an Uber though. Good morning. It is officially our first day of camp today. We are so
excited.
We are so excited. We are in Boston. It is kind of an average day outside. It's not giving summer vibes yet. But before we go out and do a little bit of sightseeing and get picked up to go to camp, I want to go through the Q&A to answer the questions you guys sent in via my Instagram account. Before I get into answering these for you guys, I thought I would give you a quick overview of what working in the US is and what summer camp is like and what you can actually do there. Now, this is something I decided I wanted to do back in 2018. You get to basically go to the US. It is on a cultural exchange program. You come over for the summer. The length of your visa is the length of your program. And by program, I mean the camp you're going to be working at, the dates it's running, and the dates of employment that you have. There is such a variety of different camps you can come and work at, which is amazing. I think it's the best thing. If you like kids, there's something for everyone here for you. There's like sleepaway camps, which is what I work at, where the kids come and they stay the whole summer, so they're there for like 7 weeks straight with you, which I love. I grew up watching The Parent Trap and I just fell in love with that idea. But there's day camps, there's special needs camps, there's like specific like activity and sport camps, and there's so many cool things you can do and so many different places to work. So if you're interested in it, keep open-minded about where you might want to be and what you might want to do, because the US is covered with amazing summer camps. Based on where you work, your role might change a bit. There are generally what we call general counselors. Those are counselors that kind of live with a bunch of kids and then travel around to all the activities during the day with them. At other camps, you'll be an activity counselor. That's how it worked at my camp. No one was a general counselor in that sense, but you were activity-based counselors. You still lived with a group of kids, and then the kids rotated through your activity. So my first summer, I worked as a boating instructor, teaching kids how to kayak, canoe, sail, and paddleboard. And it was absolutely the best. I'm very biased, but I love the waterfront. I think it is the best place to work at camp. But yeah, that's a quick little overview. Essentially, you go for 7 to 9 weeks, you work with the kids. Your goal is literally just to give them the best summer you can. You don't need to be, a teacher or have worked with kids a whole bunch. As long as you are dedicated to helping them have a great time and you're enthusiastic about it and you're willing to be silly, camp might be for you, but it's not for everyone. Now, I had a lot of questions come through and there was a couple of main themes there was a few questions about costs, visas, and then there was a really overwhelming sense of, am I too old to go to camp? Not for me. I know where I sit with this, but I had a lot of questions where people were like, this is how old I am, or can you do this when you're older, or is there an age limit? So I want to talk about that because I think there's a stigma here that we need to break. Let's start with the admin, visa, money questions, get those out of the way. Someone said, what type of visa and permits do you need to work in a US summer camp? So it is called a J1 visa. It is a specific cultural exchange camp counselor visa, and you do need a program sponsor for that. What I mean is you need someone who's backing you on your visa so you can get that, and usually that comes in the form of an agency. Included in that fee, typically, they're gonna help you get over here. By doing that, they're gonna help set up interviews, make sure you find a camp that's suitable for you. They might cover some of your fees, including your service fee, and they are a support system that comes with the program. You also get health insurance included in that. On top of that, there are some extra fees that do come with going to camp, which are like background check fee. In Australia, that's $42 right now. And then you also have 2 to 3 separate fees for your visa. So if you aren't aware, and this is your first time ever to my channel, welcome. I am Australian, but I have been living up in Canada for the last couple of years. So I have just gone through this whole process a second time in Canada, and I can tell you exactly what we paid up there. First things first is the service fee. That is $35 US. The next thing is the fee that you pay when you book your visa appointment. So to get the J1 visa, you do have to go to an in-person interview at a US consulate. It's not as scary as it sounds, I promise. But that fee was $260 approximately. That is Canadian. And then the issuance fee, so once we went to the consulate, had the interview, we had to pay another fee on top of it in order to actually get the visa, and that was 110 Canadian. Now, I did read online that you're looking at about 640 Australian. That doesn't quite add up for me, but I think if you plan to do between like 450 and 650, I think that's pretty standard. So as you can tell, it's not the cheapest thing, but it's worthwhile, I promise, and it is the best experience. How much do you get paid? Are you saving at all, or is it a pure experience-based job? Now, I don't want to set your expectations too high here. You don't get paid a ton.
right? But you do get paid in USD, and USD is one of the strongest currencies. Converting it back to AUD right now is like 1.5. So I think that's a bonus. But typically it really depends a little bit on your age, your skill set, what you're actually doing at camp. That does affect things. For some perspective, once you take out all of your costs to get to camp, and then the little bit of money that you do use and spend at camp, I didn't come home with a whole bunch of money the first time. But I think you also have to think that when you're at camp, you're really not spending a lot. Your whole life kind of just gets put on pause. You only have, 5 or so days off during the summer approximately, and you're working most of the time, and it's fun and it's great, but you're not out spending a whole bunch, which is really, really good. So even if you're not taking home a whole lot, I think the experience is worth it. And then as you come back, you have the opportunity to earn a bit more. But I definitely don't think this is a job that you go into for the money necessarily. Another question I got was, what is the living situation like? And I love this question because I think it is so unique, and it's obviously going to depend on your camp. Day camps are going to be very different to sleepaway camps. But having worked at a sleepaway camp, at ours, I know it's generally you are either in a bunk or a cabin. What I mean by that is my first year I worked with 13-year-old girls, they were my kids, and there was 2 of us, so 2 counselors, 8 kids, 10 of us in one big cabin. It was bunk beds. The counselors were made to take the top bunks so the kids could have the bottom, which is so fair, but I do hate a top bunk, so be prepared for that. Otherwise, if you're working in a more senior role or you're not living with the kids, it might be bunk style accommodation with other counselors, or you might have your own private dorm. I'll take you on a very quick cabin tour. Okay, finally, I got a whole bunch of questions about age requirements. So I'll read some of them out and then we'll have a little chat about that, because I think this is a huge stigma around going to camp, and I think it holds people back when it doesn't need to. So one of the first ones said, even though I meet the age requirement, I'm worried I feel too old, 28. Any thoughts? Another one, is there an age limit for working at camp, and are most people working their uni-aged people? Or is this something you can do when you're older? There was a whole bunch that came through like that, and I think this is a very interesting discussion to have. And it's something I went through 2 years ago as well. I had the exact same thoughts. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, I first decided to go to camp in 2019. I think I might have said 2018, but it was 2019. I got hired at a job fair in Melbourne. I went to this fair, I researched all the camps. I knew which camp I wanted to go to, which was my number one. I got it, it was amazing. And then obviously COVID happened. I couldn't go to camp in 2020, the summer that I had signed up for, and that really put a halt on things. And by the time 2022 came around, I knew I still had to do this. I still really wanted to go, but I was now 2 years older than I had originally signed up to be. I was meant to be 21 when I went to camp. Instead, I was 23. Now I'm 25. But I remember really thinking at the time, have I left it too late? Am I too old? Is everyone there going to be 18, 19? Am I even going to fit in? And I think this is a fear a lot of us have with travel. And I think the older I'm getting, the more I'm finding that it really doesn't matter. I get this question with moving to Canada all the time because I have so much Canada content and working holiday content on my channel, and I love that and I advocate for it. But so many people think that they're too old to do things, and you need to stop, because we're all so young and we have so many things that we can do and life to experience, and your age does not matter at all. It is going to affect things, but not in an important way. What I mean by that is, yes, a lot of the people who work at camp are university aged, roughly, right? There are people that work at my camp and that work at other camps that have their own families, that are grown up, they are married, they come back every single year. It doesn't matter, because you're going to find your people anyway. And I think we need to stop judging people based on their age as is. If you're traveling, if you want to do camp, there are other people there that want to do the exact same thing, and that is your common interest already. You can bond over that, you can be friends. I think if you don't do something because you think you're too old, you're gonna regret that, and in 10 years you'll look back and be like, I was so young, I should have done it. I missed out on so many things because of this stigma, and it does not matter. Do it. Just do it. That's all I have to say. My rant is over.
All right, we have touched on most of those Q&A questions now. We need to get out and actually see Boston a little bit. I did a day trip here the first summer I came to camp, but Tristan has not seen the town much other than last night, but we were just manically trying to get to Lululemon and get food. So we're gonna go out, do some sightseeing. There's a place called Mike's Pastries that has the best cannoli I've ever had in my life. So we're gonna go get some of those, and then we have to be at the airport at 1 p.m. to go to camp. Okay, let's go.
As you can see, we had a super rainy and miserable-ish morning in Boston, but we still made the most of it considering it was Tristan's first time there. We started in the Boston Commons, which is some beautiful gardens, and then we made our way over to Newbury Street, which is a beautiful shopping strip with so many different shops and quirky little cafes. It's much nicer when the sun is out, but we still made the most of what we had. From there, we made our way over to Faneuil Hall and Quincy Market, which is a really cool food hall with lots of different things happening in there. We just jumped on the train system to get our way over. Now, if you have more time, Boston is an awesome city. I actually really love it there. The Boston Tea Party ships and museums are really worth checking out, as is going to Fenway Park for a baseball game. There's so many cool things you can explore. Even doing one of the free walking tours in this city is awesome. I did it last time I was at camp and loved it.
Summer camp, it felt only right to pick up a pair of essentials. Everyone wears Crocs. I didn't have them my first summer, but I'm excited to have them this summer. I feel like they're just so convenient. I didn't want to be left out again, so. Finally just ticked off our last thing to do in Boston today. It is time to go back to our accommodation now, grab our bags, and then Ali is coming to pick us up from the airport, which is so exciting. We bought her a little cannoli as a thank you. So the drive from Boston up to Portland took about 2.5 hours, and we have finally made it back to our home for the summer. I can't tell you how surreal this feeling is, or if you're even coming for your first summer, how surreal the feeling of seeing the place online that you have been working towards going to for so long, and you finally get to be here. Blue skies have come out. It is like the perfect day. We have just settled in. They once you get here, they welcome you, they take you to the office so you can get like your linens, because if you're an international staff member, they provide all that for you. We also got to pick up our camp t-shirts, which is really exciting. I haven't even opened them up yet. And we've also been shown where we are living for the summer. Because Tristan and I are living in our own cabin this summer, I'll take you on a very quick cabin tour, which is very exciting. We haven't unpacked a single thing yet, but I am so stunned at how much space we have to ourselves. I literally want to confirm that it was all ours because it just doesn't feel real. But anyway, come on through. I'll quickly show you everything.
If you're watching this as a first time at a camp, you'll likely live with the kids in your first year. So if you want to see what those cabins are like, head to my TikTok for detailed bunk tours.
So this is essentially a 2-bedroom cabin. We have the living room over here where we have a couch, a fridge. If you live in the kids, like in the cabin with the kids, it's so different. This is a kid's cabin, it's just been fitted out. This is like an extra bedroom. When I worked here, this was my unit leader's cabin and her kid was staying in here, but I don't think anyone's gonna be in here this summer because it's just us. And then if you come through, we have our bedroom, we have a queen bed, we have a wardrobe to ourselves, hanging space. We are so spoiled this summer. And then if you come through, we also have our own bathroom. So this is what it looks like. It's rustic, it's authentic, it's camp and it's home. And I'm so excited to be here. We have dinner tonight at 6 p.m. and that is it. That is our obligation. There's nothing else. They don't make you work on your first day. It's just get settled, get unpacked, meet people. Everyone wants to get to know you. What a good day. I will show you guys the rest of camp and life here and take you on a full tour on another day. So that wraps up this travel to camp vlog video Q&A. I hope it has kind of shown you what the process of getting to camp is like. If you want to know more and if you want to see everything we get up to this summer, please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you hit the little bell, it'll tell you when we put a new video up. But we're in for a great summer. I hope you'll join us. I'll see you soon.